Arjuna said, O Krishna, you praise renunciation of actions and, at the same time, karma yoga. Please tell me for certain which one is better between these two. The Blessed Lord said, both renunciation of actions and karma yoga lead to liberation. However, karma yoga excels over renunciation of actions. He who neither hates nor craves should be known as a man of constant renunciation. The fools, not the learned ones, speak of Sankhya and karma yoga as being different. Anyone who properly resorts to either one of them gets the results of both. The state that is reached by the Sankhyas, and that is also reached by the yogis, is seen by one who sees Sankhya and yoga as one. But, O mighty armed one, renunciation is hard to attain without karma yoga. The meditative man equipped with yoga attains Brahman without delay. Endowed with yoga, pure in mind, controlled in body, a conqueror of the organs, the self of the selves of all beings. He does not become tainted even while performing actions. When this person resorts to nitya and naimitaka rites and duties as a means to the achievement of full illumination, and thus becomes fully enlightened, then, even when he acts through the apparent functions of the mind, organs, etc., he does not become affected, remaining absorbed in the self. The knower of reality should think, I certainly do not do anything, even while seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, speaking, releasing, holding, opening, and closing the eyes, remembering that the organs function in relation to the objects of the organs. Remaining absorbed in the self, the knower of reality should think, I certainly do not do anything, even while seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, speaking, releasing, holding, opening, and closing the eyes, remembering that the organs function in relation to the objects of the organs. One who acts by dedicating their actions to Brahman and by renouncing attachment, they do not become polluted by sin, just as a lotus leaf is not by water. By giving up attachment, the yogis undertake work solely through the body, mind, intellect, and even the organs, for their own purification, giving up the results of work by becoming resolute in faith. One attains peace arising from steadfastness. One who is lacking in resolute faith, being attached to the results under the impulse of desire, becomes bound, the embodied man of self-control, having given up all actions mentally, continues happily in the city of 9 gates, without doing or causing anyone else to do anything. The self does not create agency or any objects of desire for anyone, nor does it associate with the results of actions. Rather, it is nature that acts. The omnipresent neither accepts anyone's sin nor even virtue. Knowledge remains covered by ignorance. Thus the creatures become deluded. But in the case of those whose ignorance is destroyed by knowledge of the self, their knowledge, like the sun, reveals that supreme reality. Those whose intellect is absorbed in that, whose self is that, who are steadfast in that, and who have that as their supreme goal, they attain the state of non-returning, their impurities having been removed by knowledge. The learned ones look with equanimity on a Brahmana endowed with learning and humility. A cow, an elephant, and even a dog, as well as one who eats dog meat. Here itself is mirth attained by those whose minds are established in sameness. Since Brahman is the same in all and free from defects, they are established in Brahman. A knower of Brahman, who is established in Brahman, should have their intellect steady and should not be deluded. They should not get delighted by getting what is desirable, nor become dejected by getting what is undesirable. With his heart unattached to external objects, he gets the bliss that is in the self. With his heart absorbed in meditation on Brahman, he acquires undying bliss. since enjoyments that result from contact with objects are indeed the sources of sorrow, having a beginning and an end. O son of Kunti, the wise one does not delight in them. One who can withstand here itself, before departing from the body, the impulse arising from desire and anger. That person is a yogi. They are happy. One who is content within, whose pleasure is within, and whose light is only within. That yogi, having become Brahman, attains absorption into Brahman. The seers whose sins have been attenuated, who are free from doubt, whose senses are under control, who are engaged in doing good to all beings, attain absorption in Brahman. To those monks who have control over their internal organs, who are free from desire and anger, who have known the self, there is absorption into Brahman either way, keeping external objects outside, fixing the eyes at the juncture of the eyebrows, and controlling the outgoing and incoming breaths that move through the nostrils. The contemplative who has mastery over his organs, mind, and intellect should be fully intent on liberation and free from desire, fear, and anger. He who is ever thus is verily free, keeping external objects outside, fixing the eyes at the juncture of the eyebrows, and controlling the outgoing and incoming breaths that move through the nostrils. The contemplative who has mastery over his organs, mind, and intellect should be fully intent on liberation and free from desire, fear, and anger. He who is ever thus is verily free. One attains peace by knowing me, who am the great Lord of all the worlds, the enjoyer of sacrifices and austerities, and the friend of all creatures.